and welcome back to another episode of Wait and See with Celeste Lynch. I'm Celeste Lynch, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room right now. I made an episode called I'm Back with like a little heart on, let me see what day, on June 29th. It is August 20th. It has been almost 2 months since I recorded an episode, and I didn't quit. I didn't quit on y'all. I've been thinking about the podcast for a while, and I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was like just out having fun. I started this in quarantine. I wasn't doing much, and I think I got like frustrated with being locked up, and then really excited with being like out finally. And so now I'm sort of starting to get more into like, okay, like normalcy, like okay. A lot has been going on in the past 2 months. I think everyone's lives have been a little crazy, a little different. I've just been having a lot of fun, to be honest. That sounds like really just like, oh yeah, I've been having so much fun. But like, no, actually, I've been having a lot of fun. Going out with friends, going with my boyfriend, spending time with my family. We've been going to the beach pretty often. We've been going to the pool. There's a pool in my neighborhood, so we go there like 3 times a week maybe, which is a nice way to get exercise, trying to just go out and be active and do things this summer. This summer for me has actually been extended to September 14th, so we finished school in like June, and we had summer, and then they're actually extending it, so we're supposed to be doing hybrid school. They might change that. It might be online, but I really hope that we can do hybrids. The way hybrid works is that you go to school 2 days a week and then you do online 3 days a week, which I mean isn't ideal, but I would much rather be doing that than not going to school at all. And I've also been very busy with summer homework. I'm gonna take 3 APs next year, and all of them have summer work. So I'm taking AP US History, AP Language and Composition, and AP Calculus AB. I've been kind of struggling with AP Calculus, AP summer homework. It's definitely a challenge that I'm not going to say I didn't expect, but I don't think I realized how much I hadn't like struggled with math in a while. So I actually struggled a lot with Algebra 1, like for some reason, even though it's like probably one of the easiest classes ever, but it almost feels like that where I have to put in like this sort of effort that I'm not like used to putting into school, which sounds really messed up, but that's just kind of the way it is. And then English, our deadlines have actually been pushed back for English because we're not starting schools till like September 14th, I think. So I'm kind of been lazy with that, but I do have to work on it. And then history, it's a lot of work, like these weird projects that we have to do. One of them was like you had to read this thing about Frederick Douglass, and it was 100 pages long, but I didn't know it was 100 pages long, so I didn't start it until the day of. Like I thought it was just an article or something. No, it was 100 pages, so I read 100 pages in one day, and then did a whole project about it in one day and turned it in. It was honestly, like, it wasn't that hard, but it was stressful just because I like waited to the last minute, and it was a good like kick in the pants to be like, hey, like this is not going to be easy for you. School's always been like not difficult, and now it is. So been kind of working on that, and like time management is going to be a big thing. As far as sports, we don't know if we're gonna have our tennis season. I have a feeling that we're not going to. I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I really like tennis. I'm no athlete. I'm not very good at it at all, but it is something I really enjoy, and just like spending time with the team. But at the same time, it's like if we even do have it, like we're probably not gonna be able to have all of the social aspects of the team. Um, so I don't know. I'm trying to get a job. So, fun fact, I'm turning 16 in 4 days. So, August 24th is my birthday. I'm turning 16. Very excited. Woo-hoo. So I have a lot of stuff to do because of that. Not really a lot, but just I'm trying to get a job. So there's a couple places I'm thinking of applying to. I'm a little scared to work. Like, I was telling my parents and they were like kind of confused as to why, but I think it's just like dealing with the public and having to report to a boss, like those two things really scare me because I don't want to mess up or like I don't want to be yelled at by customers or something just because I'm like not good at confrontation. And whenever I get like frustrated, like if anyone has ever like seen me just like frustrated, I will start like tearing up. And I can be so mad, but I'm like crying of anger and it's so easy for me to just do that. So kind of scared. You know, it's something I have to deal with. Here in Rhode Island, you can't get your learner's permit until you're 16. So I have to sign up for driver's ed, which honestly, it fills up really fast. So I probably won't be able to even get my permit until like pretty later on this year or like beginning of next year. But hopefully I get it because I want to start driving. I'm hoping to get a job somewhere really close to my house where I can walk to. I'm not gonna expose my location, but I want to hopefully work there and be able to walk and save money to maybe get a car. Who knows? Anyway, I hope to just sort of get my life together this year. Thought I would tell you about some of my goals for being 16. Junior year, 16, gonna be interesting just because like Corona is still a thing. But hopefully, I mean, I don't know. So for the new year 2020, I told myself that I was gonna be like more social. That was my goal, and I actually was ended up like really good at it. So that was sort of my goal for like the school year, but also like exactly like, really 2020. And I was like being social. I was being like a lot more talkative with people, trying to like get to know people more. And then the greatest irony is that we're in quarantine for 3 months. So that was really ironic, bad timing. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna work on maybe trying to be more approachable, getting to know people, nurturing my friendships, and just overall trying to be a more quote people person. That's definitely a thing. Keeping my grades up, and I think just sort of trying to become more independent. I'm I think I'm pretty independent in some ways, but in other ways I'm not. Like I can't really cook. I'm really exposing myself right here. I can't really cook. I kind of know how to do laundry. Mm. Um, and just in general, like life. There's a lot of life things I don't know how to do, and I want to learn to do them before I leave the house and go to college. Because this is like my next summer will be the summer I'm like applying to schools. So I've been doing a lot of online information sessions, but also I just want to sort of like get a job, learn to drive, do all those things that are like, I guess, milestones of independence, I guess. And I want to do that, but it's going to be a lot of time management on my part, which is scary, but it's also something I really need to work on just because I'm, again, like, I've never really struggled with school or like had to spend so many hours like studying or doing homework. And so I think harder classes coupled with a job, possibly, and I don't think we're gonna have extracurriculars, but maybe extracurriculars I think is gonna be a challenge, but it's a challenge that I need to face. I think it's a challenge that everyone needs to face, and I'm just hoping that it all goes well. That was got really serious real quick. A sort of lighter goal is I want to work on my guitar more. So I don't know if I had already gotten my guitar by the last episode or if I had mentioned it or not, but yes, got a guitar. Been trying to learn to play. It was an early like birthday present, and I already play the ukulele. A lot of people do. It's really not that impressive. I don't think to play the ukulele, at least for me, just because like it's only 4 strings. Like I don't know. It really wasn't that hard, but like also it does. You know what? I'm gonna stop like degrading my accomplishments because I do that a lot. I always like, oh yeah, I did this, but it's not impressive. Like it's not a big deal. You know what? I learned how to play an instrument on my own, even if it was like a simple instrument. But I really learned how to do that by myself. Yes. um. So yeah, I was learning to play ukulele. I've really, really mastered it. I think there's always more to learn with an instrument, but now I'm starting to play guitar. It's been fun to like use both, so I'll practice a little song on the guitar, and then practice it on the ukulele and see which one sounds better. I really like the guitar. At first I was struggling a lot, and I almost wanted to quit. But my parents got it for me, and it would just be really rude, I think, for me to like make them spend money on it and then not play it like at all. So I've been trying to play it a lot more, um, which has been fun. I've been doing songs from the new Taylor Swift album, a Queen. I've never really been a huge Taylor Swift fan, but I do remember living in Virginia. Like, specifically remember there was this room in my church where all of the kids of my age, we would all like hang out there after the service, and there was this little radio in there. And the only station we could ever pick up was sort of this like country station. I think it was a country station, might have been pop station, but you would always hear like the old country Taylor Swift songs, so like Love Story, Our Song, Tears on My Guitar. Yes. Um so now this new album kind of fits that vibe, but like a little more refined. So I've been enjoying it quite a bit and learning how to play guitar to those songs. So definitely I've been liking August and Seven. I really like those to play on the guitar, and I really like The Last Great American Dynasty, Invisible String, The One. If you haven't listened to it, like just go listen to it. It's so good. Another goal of mine that I've been working on lately is, reading my Bible more. So, if you don't know, I'm a Christian. I'm an Episcopalian. My dad is a priest, so I've grown up in the church my whole life, but I've never really like taken it upon myself to read and study the Bible. So I've been trying to do that. So I actually have an app on my phone that's like a verse a day. So I'll do that, and it comes with like a little video of someone speaking for like a minute or 2 minutes, kind of like a little sermon about it, and then a little devotional you read. And so I've been doing that, reflecting on those, and then I actually have a devotional from like a really long time ago that I just picked up and then started reading that. And then my Bible actually has like little marked days, so I've been reading Luke and Psalms. So that's been really nice to just like, it's a good way to sort of calm down and really reflect on like my life. And it really like calms my anxieties a lot. And I don't want to get like preachy on here, but that definitely is a part of my life that I want to further develop and further grow upon myself, like my own choice, instead of just doing something because my parents tell me to do, but really take it upon myself to make it a part of my life. So I've been working on that quite a bit. If I sound nasally, I'm like a little stuffed up, just because allergies. But yes, that's definitely something I'm working on. I want to work on just habits again. So I kind of stopped working out. I worked out for the first time in like forever yesterday. So I want to keep working out and just work on that more, because I've noticed that when I work out, I feel so much better about myself and I'm so much more productive. It forces me to get on my pajamas, forces me to take a shower after, get maybe a little outfit on after, and do work. My mind is so much clearer, and I'm so much less like anxious or focused on things that don't matter. I want to try to. I've noticed that when I'm busy, when I'm occupied, when I'm not, just bored, I tend to spend a lot less time on my phone, because I think we can all say that our screen times during quarantine were insane. Mine have still been pretty bad just because I'm at home a lot. So I want to just find things to occupy me other than being on my phone, because being on my phone is it's like what I do when I'm have nothing to do, quote, but like there's so many things I could do with that time. Read a book, work on my work, do a craft, talk maybe. I talk with my friends like on my phone, but like intentionally using it to communicate instead of just like frivolously scrolling or like watching stupid videos, or not stupid videos. Sometimes I watch like documentaries and stuff, but 8 hours worth of documentaries, there is too much of a good thing. I did rearrange my room, so I actually moved. Um, not many people come to my house ever, but if you have been to my room, which is like probably 3 people, I moved my mirror to another wall, and then it freed up a lot of space. I was able to move a chair, and I put all of my sort of like functional ugly furniture in like a corner where you can't see it by my bed. So there's a lot more floor space, and I really like it. For my birthday, I don't know. I haven't really got any gifts for my birthday yet, but hopefully, this sounds so messed up, but hopefully maybe I'll get money for my birthday so I can spruce my room up because I want to make it like nice and cute. Especially if I'm gonna be doing school at home 3 days a week, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time in my room, so I want to make it nice, a nice little place to work and vibe out. I want to get those green vines that everyone has, maybe maybe a tapestry. It just depends, you know. It just depends. I have a wall which I made into sort of a photo wall, which looked nice when my mirror was on that wall, but my mirror isn't on that wall anymore, so it just kind of looks out of place. But I really like those pictures and those posters, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do because I want to put a tapestry there. You guys literally can't see it, but it's just like a white wall. It's pretty. It's like the biggest wall. Well, I actually have a really big wall that would be nice, but I have a giant bed, so it's a loft bed. So there's this desk, but the desk is also like attached to a chest of drawers and this like a locker looking thingy, and then my bed is on top. So it's just a very chunky piece of furniture. So I'm gonna take a break from recording and get some water, and we're gonna come back. So I'm back. Hopefully you got some snacks. That literally wasn't funny. So I just realized I actually didn't tell you guys about one of the big things I did while I was gone. I actually attended Brown Summer High School online. I know, it's pretty crazy just because I really want to go to Brown. So it was like 10 days, 2 school weeks, of classes. So I did 2 classes. I did one about racism and public health in 2020 versus 1920, which was super interesting. And then I also did one, it was an English class, just about writing and identity. I actually wrote about this podcast, which is a little embarrassing because I didn't upload for so long. So I bet like the teacher probably looked at it and was like, this is such a scam. But I actually wrote about y'all, how this sort of was like a good outlet for me, I guess, which it is, and I need to work on it a lot more, especially because there's so many things going on in the world, and if I can just like put out my little ray of, I don't know, I don't want to say like positivity or sunshine, but if I can just like engage with someone, if that makes any sense, like that's what I want to do. I want to voice my opinion, but also like spread just positivity and just the general vibes. I know what it's like to just be like in your room and like you don't really talk to anyone. And so to just have some like just listening to someone talk can sometimes be nice, and it really like makes you think. Like I know listening to podcasts, it always gives me like a new perspective and just makes me think about things going on in my life and I can relate to the person who's talking. So that was a really great experience for me, and I think both of those really helped me find like a new understanding of a lot of things going on in the world, especially the one about racism and public health. It's a big crisis. I think a lot of people, I don't want to say that people have forgotten about people, like I don't know how to put this, but there's a lot of, this whole pandemic has brought out a lot of issues that have always been going on but now are being put in the limelight. So just underrepresentation, and just under-resourced communities. A lot of communities have just been hit so hard, and the government just doesn't do anything about it. And it's really up to us to call upon leaders to do their job and, respond and help people. That's why they're in office. But it's definitely been an interesting time just with the election, coronavirus. It's like we forget. I think I forgot that there was an election going on just because everything has been so chaotic, and it's finally, at least where I am, has sort of started to calm down. But I know a lot of places it's just getting worse, and in the fall we're expecting for it to get worse. I just hope there's a vaccine. Yeah, because it just isn't fair. Like I see little kids wearing masks, and it makes me sad to think that like little kids are going to school wearing masks and social distancing, and I know it's for everyone's safety, but it's just sad to think like they're not going to get those memories that I had, and like they think this is normal, and it's not. So that I've really been impacted by that, especially with my church opening back up. A few weeks ago, it opened back up, and we're doing everything social distance, 6 feet apart, wearing masks, a lot of sanitation. The service is just completely different, and it's so weird, and it's really somber, I guess, just because you can't interact with people the same way you used to, and you can't say hi or the same way you would. You can't sing in church. You can't have communion. You can't. And so it's odd. It's odd to just sit and listen. And, I mean, it's good to reflect. I think it makes you pay more attention. But there is something about that social aspect that I think is just so important that has been taken out of so many things, school, church, I'm sure other things. It's strange. It's very strange. I see kids like moving into college, and I'm like, it's just so weird. That's the only way I can describe it. It's such a weird time. I think we're all just trying to get used to it. But I just want things to go back to normal. I really do. It's like I've gotten past the whole just crying because I'll be honest, like April, May-ish, I was so like rock bottom, just very like disheartened. I had felt like hopeless and really alone, and as things have gotten better, I've started to feel better going out doing things, but really thinking about like what's going on in the world, it can be very hard to stay positive and to think like, oh, everything is going to be okay when there's a spike here, and then people are saying this and other things are going on in the country. So it's definitely a time to be alive, and we are a chapter in a history book, which is really crazy to think. Like, kids will be learning about this time, and they're probably going to be so confused, or maybe they won't be. I think it all depends on the outcomes of all of this. I believe there's a plan. I believe God is working through this, but it can be hard to stay hopeful and stay positive. So yeah, I think I've been struggling with that a little bit, and I'm sure some of you have. And it's important to like feel those things and to acknowledge those things, but also not to dwell on them, because I know a few months ago I was definitely dwelling on it and it was not good for me, but now I'm more calm and just trying to take things one day at a time, not being so angry about the circumstances, because honestly, I'm really privileged to my family, has been able to stay home. We have internet, we have masks, it's not as much of a struggle as it is for other people, and I think that's one way to frame it, is taking it one day at a time. Because it can definitely be hard. Keep wearing your masks and use your hand sanitizer and just stay hopeful, because that's really what we gotta do. About masks, I have way too many. Like, it's sort of become a fashion thing for me at this point, which has been really funny. I got a bucket hat, which is a light pink, and then I have a mask that's light pink, and I will always try to wear something that will go with my mask, or like my mask will go with what I'm wearing, which has been strange. It's become like a fashion thing for me, which has been nice. So if you don't like wearing masks, and you can afford to do it, if you can afford to do it too, because it can get expensive, try to like match it, try to be cute, because that's how I've been doing it, and it's been a lot of fun. Not fun, but it's made it more fun. Let's put it that way. Another thing I've been having a lot of fun with is nail polish. I just like looked over and saw. I went to an Urban Outfitters a few days ago and got a really good sale on them, 3 for $10, which for Urban is insane. So I've been just like having way too much fun painting my nails. I got the chartreuse color. It's actually really ugly. Like, it looks like bile. It's on my toes right now. but it was so fun to just see what it would look like. And I got this really cute like blue sparkles. I have pink, we got teal, and that's definitely been fun. So I think the best way I've found to cope with these difficult times is to just find joy in small things like nail polish and like seeing friends, if you can, if it's safe, trying to be safe as much as possible. Um, don't gather in large groups. Try to social distance when you have to, and try to stay home as much as possible. But I think it just depends on where you are and what your risk is, and the people around you, the people you surround yourself with. So I'm very blessed. My family is all very healthy and pretty young, so we're not in high risk groups like other people. But if you're living with a grandparent, or maybe one of your brothers diabetic or something like that, it's better to stay home. Yeah, so I think everyone just has to make that decision for themselves and do what's best for you in everything. This has gotten really just like serious. But yeah, I think it's just trying to stay positive has been something I've been working on a lot, and haven't really like talked about it a lot. But yeah, I think just finding joy in like whatever you do have is the best way to go about this. Don't watch the news all the time. Don't listen to the news all the time because it's kind of depressing. But also just keep yourself informed and try to enjoy yourself. There's a lot of things you can do outside. I know the weather has been beautiful here lately. We actually had it go from like 90 to 60 and then back to 90 again. But those days where it was 60 degrees, I was living. I want fall to come. I want Halloween. The only thing is I don't know, like, are we gonna be able to do trick-or-treating with Corona? Also, is it okay for me to be 16 and go trick-or-treating? Because I want to go trick-or-treating. I did not go trick-or-treating last year. It was a school night, I think. It was a school night. But also, I went to a party. So I went to a Halloween party, which was really fun. But I also want to go trick-or-treating. So yeah, I want to go trick-or-treating. My boyfriend and I are thinking about doing matching costumes. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I love Halloween. It's like, I love the candy. I love dressing up. Unfortunately, my neighborhood, no one comes because I live in sort of this like apartment type complex. So no one comes. Like, and there's no kids trick-or-treating. There's almost no kids that live here. And the kids that live here will go trick-or-treat somewhere else. Which, like, I want to give out candy. Like, if I can't go trick-or-treating, I at least want to, like, scare kids or, like, see their little costumes because people can get so creative with it. Party City was always fun to go to pick out a costume. Even though it was kind of expensive, I would get mine from Target a lot. Or I would, like, reuse old ones or buy them at Marshall's. A couple years ago, I got a Chinese takeout costume. The only thing was that Halloween, there was, like, a massive power outage in my town, and so I didn't have power for, like, 2 or 3 days. And I just, no one really went trick-or-treating. And it was just a really weird Halloween. So we went to a Chinese restaurant and I wore my Chinese takeout box costume. There's a picture of it. I don't like to look at the picture because I was kind of ugly. I think I was like 13, which means I was probably too old for it, but who cares? Yes, Halloween is the best, and I hope we can have Halloween this year. Probably no Halloween parties, but hopefully we can go trick-or-treating. I think we could do like a safe sort of thing, like maybe putting like little bags of candy on a tray, and kids just pick them up, and then you just kind of wave. They wear their little masks. Like, it would be cool to dress up as a ninja this year because they wear masks anyway. Or, I think there's gonna be more kids wearing masks, like not like social distancing masks, but more like Halloween masks, like scary masks. I think that would be so fun. I think we'll get really creative with it. So I hope we can have a social distance Halloween and have it still be fun. definitely want to go to a pumpkin patch this year. Definitely want to carve a pumpkin because I don't think I carved a pumpkin last year. So I definitely want to carve a pumpkin. I'm just hyped. I'm hyped for Halloween. I don't know why, but I really am. I'm a little sad about Thanksgiving just because I don't know if I'm going to be able to go visit my extended family in Virginia, which is what we usually do. And I just get to see all of my family members. We go to my grandma's house and she lives like in the mountains. And so it's so fun to go there and like see the trees and the bears. Oh my gosh, guys. One time I visited my grandma during the summer and we had to run away from a bear. Like no joke, we had to run away from a bear and it was the craziest thing ever. There's always like deer and all sorts of animals. It's so fun. It's just it's kind of sad, like we might not be able to go. My family is a lot older, so we don't want to put them at risk. But it's definitely going to be weird. I hope we can go. I really do. It just depends on how everything goes, especially with states trying to do like quarantines for people that come from out of state. And also school. I mean, I'm only going to be going to school 2 days a week, but it just depends. I have a feeling we're going to do all online, which is a little sad, but rather I'd rather be safe, and I think I could do it. Now that I sort of did it last year unexpectedly, I think with more planning, I think the teachers will have it down a little better, and there's going to be a lot more organization to it because we were definitely not organized. the first that first sort of part of March, April, June, I forgot May. We didn't really do school in June. Like they just cut our school year short, which was great, but also really weird. So I've had summer for basically all of June, all of July, all of August, and then gonna be like half of September too. So it's been like it's gonna be like 6 months without stepping into the school building, which is weird because I really like my school. I actually enjoy going to school, and it's just been so weird, especially because my school's under renovation. So I'm gonna walk into a completely new building for the most part. Some of the old stuff is still gonna be there, but it's gonna be so strange. Like new ways of doing things, new building. Yeah, it's gonna be so weird. I just hope that it all goes well. I think it will. It's definitely gonna be strange. I think my biggest worry is how it's gonna affect my college application process, just because testing is sort of not happening, but I don't know if they're gonna require SATs for me. I was supposed to take the SAT, I think, at the beginning of this year, but we didn't get to sign up because Corona. Or like the end of this year, maybe. I don't know, but it is what it is. And if I don't have to take the SAT, that would be great. But if I do, I would like to be able to do it with time. A lot of schools are becoming test optional this year, which I think is good in some ways, but bad in other ways, just because people spend a lot of time preparing for it, but also a lot of money. And it can be very pay to play, but I think there is a certain value in it. The value of which is like showing people's maybe I think just holistically looking at someone's application, and if you see like, they come from a struggling school or a struggling family, and if they score really well on the SAT, then like taking that into account, the person worked really hard. Whereas like just taking everything into account, but it's a lot of things have changed. I've been doing a lot of online information sessions for different schools that I'm sort of interested in, and they're all sort of like this could be a possibility for later. It could not be a possibility. It all depends. So I think just the future is very uncertain, which can be scary because we all try to like plan for the future, but we can't plan right now. Not that much anyway. So again, just taking it one day at a time. It's hard, but I think I'm in a really lucky place where maybe this might not affect me too much. Maybe, I'll have a senior year and a graduation where a lot of people probably won't. It all depends. And, I think we'll just see. We'll just see how it goes. That's been my mantra for the past bit. It's like, we'll just see. We'll just see how it goes. Another thing that's actually fun and not just like kind of melodramatic or like kind of sad is I'm looking to adopt a dog. We have been applying for dogs to adopt dogs for a while now, and we haven't gotten any results yet, but we found one we really like, and hopefully we get it. It's a Chihuahua Terrier mix. That's sort of what we're looking into because we live in an apartment, and my dad doesn't do well with dog hair, so we just want a dog with really short hair that's small and maybe a little energetic, which is like a Chihuahua. So we really want a dog. I want a dog. I think it'd be so fun to have a dog, especially to take it on walks, play with it, cuddle with it. Yes. The only difficult thing is that you have to take them out to the bathroom early in the morning. I've been waking up at like 11:30 noon-ish on a regular basis for a while now, which is gonna be a problem when school starts, just because like you have to wake up at 6 for school. If we have school, I don't know. If we have online school, it will probably still be a problem because we have to be logged in at a certain time. It's a work in progress. I want to wake up earlier. I want to become a morning person. That's another one of my goals we were talking about. I want to become a morning person, just like have a morning routine that sets me up for success, to be productive the rest of the day, because waking up, at 11:30 and then being all bummy until 3 and then not really doing anything throughout the whole day, you don't get anything done and you don't feel that great. So I think it's just finding a routine where I, wake up, work out, drink water, take showers, do all of the things to be able to be productive and then have the rest of the day to have fun because it's summer. Or maybe it won't be summer when I end up doing this, but it will just make my life a lot more enjoyable, I guess, because I know like lately I've been getting really lazy with just not working out, waking up late, not really doing anything, and you don't feel that great. Your body is meant to move, and you're meant to be doing things during the day. So, staying up till 2 a.m. to wake up at noon is not healthy, and I want to be healthier. It's a struggle, but definitely just want to do things that make me feel better about life, about myself. Eating hot Cheetos at 2 in the morning is not a thing that will do that, but I think it's just baby steps to see what I really want to do and how I want to go about making a routine for myself, because, I think structure is good in my life. Being in quarantine and having no structure, I think I enjoyed it for a little bit, and then after it was just like, what? And I think I'm getting to that point where it's like with the summertime, there's a point in the summer, even when it's not Corona time, that you're like, oh yeah, like I want to go to school, like I want to have, structure again. And I've gotten to that point, I think, and I just have to make it for myself because it's not going to come to me. And that's a realization that I probably should have made a while ago, but didn't. I thought that this whole thing was going to last a lot less time than it did, but it's not, and that's okay. You just roll with the punches. So it's just seeing what I have to do, figuring that out. One of the things that I've gotten better about is cleaning my room, because I used to have a super messy room, and now it's like, right now it's mildly messy, but, just being a lot more organized and, like, taking care of the space a lot more, because I'm going to be in the space. Like, this is going to be my productive space. This is where I sleep. This is going to be where I do school. This is where I practice guitar. This is where I do any sort of, like, mindfulness. This is where I work out. This is, like, my place. And so making sure that it's a place that is clean, a place that is cared for, is going to be a big deal and really important, especially just now with everything working from home. This is where I record my podcast. I will say that I have to do like a little cleaning before I record, just because it makes me feel more grounded, and also I'm not distracted by like, oh, there's something on the floor, there's something there, like I have to move it, oh no. So it definitely helps a lot. But I'm really glad to be back recording. I want to, make this a part of the routine, make this a part of the structure to record. I feel so bad for leaving you guys for like 2 months. You all probably thought I quit. I didn't quit. I said that in the last video and I didn't upload for 2 months, but I really want to just record more often. I think I was placing a lot of just expectations on myself to make this perfect, and it's not going to be perfect. I have like, just a cheap microphone, some headphones, and this computer. It's my mom's computer. Like, my computer broke in February, and I just use my mom's computer now, but I think it's just making that time and just being honest and vulnerable instead of putting all of these walls up and not really saying anything. This episode has definitely been really random and just a lot, so I think I'm going to wrap it up here, but I want to just thank you guys for coming back, listening to the end, hopefully. Please. Just thank you. Remember to share the podcast with your friends if you want. Follow us on Instagram at Wait and See Podcast, and follow us on Spotify. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and just about anywhere you can find your podcast. So thank you and have a great day. Bye.